Payday lenders are using the coronavirus to market their products. Let's have a look. Good morning, everyone. Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I had my morning stein of coffee, and I thought we'd have a look at this article from the ABC regarding everyone's favorite business model, payday lenders, using the coronavirus for marketing purposes. What do you all think, guys? I don't think anyone is a fan of payday lenders, and they really, well, they prey, some would say on the vulnerable, I would say on the uneducated. I'd blame this on our education system, or people are just getting desperate. People are just getting desperate. I'm hoping people will realize with this whole economic lockdown and it never can happen event that maybe they need to have some money stashed aside to ensure they're not so vulnerable, not living hand to mouth. Maybe I'm just being a little naive. So, and of course there's a call for a ban on payday lenders as they use the coronavirus to market their products. They want to ban them. What do you think? Do you think we should ban them for people falling into this trap, or people just need to learn how to handle their money? Consumer advocates are concerned loan sharks are targeting vulnerable people with text messages offering short-term loans to get them through the coronavirus pandemic. Samantha Rudolph first started receiving text messages offering the promise of quick finance as the coronavirus crisis escalated in March. They're quite short and sharp text messages, and they mention COVID-19, and once you click on the link, it takes you to the website where you can apply for the loan, she said. Why the hell would anyone click on a link in a text message? I mean, that is, wow. I get random calls from China, plugging me for stuff. I don't know why, I can't understand it. I just keep blocking them. Probably because I have my number online. I guess that's just the way it is these days. Since March 28, pre-recorded actually. Since March 28, she has received 5 text messages from three different short-term financing companies: Jacaranda Finance, Veritum, and Last Minute Loans offering finance. Well, there you go. Miss Rudolph, who is Indigenous, started working as an Aboriginal policy advisor at the Consumer Action Law Centre a week later. Okay? What? I know why they say that she's Indigenous. It's relevant. I guess it is relevant in this circumstance because a lot of Indigenous Australians have copped it with, what was it, the dodgy, all the insurance brokers ringing them up and spruiking insurance at them, selling them, death insurance or life insurance or funeral insurance, and then they were ringing up to try and collect on it. So they had no understanding of what they were actually getting for. So this is a vulnerable community that these people are taking advantage of. Again, that says education. Education. Just think how much money and resources are getting thrown to try and bridge the gap, and you're getting people thinking that they can cash their own funeral insurance. She found others in the Koori community were getting the text messages too. Okay, so they're targeting the Aboriginals. Miss Rudolph believes the company could have obtained her number after she and her sister applied for finance to fund their mother's funeral 5 years ago. We ended up getting one through a bank, but I think perhaps someone has sold my details onto other loan companies who are now using it to send this text message to me, she said. That's the only thing I can think of. Well, that's the problem. Once your data gets out there, well, it's a marketable product, isn't it? Apply for this free quote online. The National Debt Helpline said almost 10,000 people have called for help during the past month, but demand is so high that some calls are not getting through. A lot of people who are calling us are incredibly stressed and really worried about how they're going to put food on the table, said Catherine Temple from Calc, which helps to staff the helpline. Callers' problems include credit card debt, trouble paying personal loans, mortgage arrears, and other household debt. welfare organization Good Shepherd, which administers a scheme offering no-interest loans of up to $1,500 to people on welfare, says it has seen a significant number in inquiries from people who have never needed emergency financial help before. So we're seeing that, well, this is the loan sharks or the payday lenders are taking advantage of this situation, but also the greater effect and pressure of the economic lockdown is starting to materialize itself in people needing help. And remember, this is only just slowly starting to kick in. We've got all these mechanisms in place to manage these situations. Now, I wonder if Good Shepherd would require people who get one of these loans go through a method of education or training to give them better money management skills. CEO Stella, I'm not even going to pronounce that, Stella A, stressed that people should steer clear of small-time lenders offering high interest rates. We urge people not to apply for payday loans or to sign up to buy now, pay later schemes, which could see their debts mount up fast, she said. Calc is calling on the government to ban short-term high-interest lending for 6 months. In a statement, Jacaranda Finance CEO Daniel Vessel, or I keep thinking I was going to pronounce that Weasel, but Vessels, defended his business's right to operate. We're aware that small amount lending has many detractors, he said. However, to constantly lump all non-bank lenders into a generic pool of payday lenders is disingenuous at best. There are a multitude of compliant and heavily regulated credit providers out there to whom this term is repugnant. Well, the company has been sending text messages inviting customers to use their cars as collateral to secure loans during the coronavirus pandemic. But rather than benefiting from the widespread misfortune caused by coronavirus, Dr. Vessels said the company had experienced a downturn this month. The figures as of right now for this month stand at 22,945 applicants with 407 approved, which is a 1.7% approval rate. That's a 41% drop in business on average, he said. The ABC also attempted to contact Vertum and Last Minute Loan. So financial help is available during the COVID-19 crisis. Now, probably because I've just been binge watching Dave Ramsey, and hearing all these stories about people who are getting into financial strife and how they are going never again, and going through his process. I didn't realize about his process until I started doing these videos, to be honest, and it came up in my recommended feed. And then I watched it, and I quite enjoy some of the stories there, particularly the success stories of people getting into just a mess and digging their way out of it. And I tend to appreciate his style of self-reliance and not dependence on the government. So, I think that needs to be emphasized. Who's calling for that here in Australia, really? What actors do we have in the media pushing for that? Because people are signing on the dotted line when they sign up for these things. So financial help is available. In response to the COVID-19 crisis, Australian banks are offering some customers the option of deferring mortgage repayments for up to 6 months, as well as forgiving fees and restructuring other types of loans. The bank has also agreed to speed up loan applications for businesses that are waiting for JobKeeper payments to come through. Here's the thing. Why the hell would you borrow money to pay for your staff when you've got no idea if they're going to appreciate it? One, because there's all these stories now appearing in the media where workers are annoyed that they're having to, go on JobKeeper and not getting welfare, or they get more money on welfare. But remember, you're still incurring other expenses, other debts when your staff are on JobKeeper. You're still incurring holiday pay. You're still incurring long service, all of these other things. Do they still have to pay super? Because remember, it's just a supplement for your business to keep paying their staff when they're not earning you any money. At the same time, so people in financial crisis can access up to $10,000 of their superannuation savings before July 1 and a further $10,000 after that date. But there are concerns that despite these measures, people who need quick cash may turn to non-banking high-interest loans, which come with few checks, but may leave borrowers financially worse off. Well, that's the point. They're taking a high risk. These, businesses are taking a high risk lending you unsecured loans, pretty much. Well, I guess some of them are a car, I guess, but you can't really repossess a car. That was my understanding from talking to debt collectors. They couldn't take someone's car. Payday lenders have a history of targeting people who are experiencing financial hardship, Ms. Temple said. They charge equivalent interest rates of more than 400% per annum in some cases. They sell themselves as a stopgap to help people in a tight situation, but the reality is these loans trap people in a cycle of debt, and it's worsening people's financial situation. Last year, payday lender Signo became the first target of the Australian Securities and Investment Commission's new product intervention power after it charged repayment rates of up to 1,000% via various fees through associated entities. Earlier this month, the company failed in its challenge to the intervention. Here we go. They're talking about the cases. So debt collectors and bankruptcy. If a debt collector is chasing you for money, you do have some legal protections under consumer law. Debt collectors cannot harass, coerce, mislead, or act unconscientiously towards you or your family and others you know. And there are limits on when and how often they can make contact with you. Amid fears that large numbers of people could be declared bankrupt over unpaid debts due to the crisis, the federal government has temporarily relaxed some of the rules in this area. It has changed bankruptcy laws so that creditors cannot apply for bankruptcy over amounts of less than $20,000. See, I don't like that. I have a guy who owed me $15,000. Why am I not able to now no longer chase him for that, declare him bankrupt? He's trading insolvent. That's gone too. So I'm not a fan of that. The new rules apply for a period of 6 months from March 21st. People who owe money will have up to 6 months to respond to a bankruptcy notice before bankruptcy proceedings can take place. Meanwhile, people who owe a debt will have a 6-month protection period before creditors can take action to recover any of the money they are owed. This is going to be an issue in the construction game, particularly the ability for directors no longer to be able to trade while insolvent in companies. This is going to be a problem in construction. This is what scares me. What do you reckon, everyone? What do you think? So, should the government step in and ban these evil organizations to protect the consumers? Or is it just a sign that our financial literacy as a civilization is just in the gutter? In the gutter. And how can we turn that around? How can we turn that around? How can this be an opportunity for people to realize? I was lucky. When I was a student moving out, my parents said, never go to one of these people. If you ever are in trouble and need some money, call us. And I was young and dumb and made some stupid mistakes, like most people do and learn from. I guess what can you do if you're in this situation? Sell whatever you can. Take whatever goods and stuff you have that you don't need, sell it. Take it to cashies. Get whatever. Get rid of your debt. Anyway, as always, please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and you want to support us, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or on Patreon. You can support us via affiliate links at Amazon or eBay, or Independent Reserve and Kucoin if you're a crypto trader. You can send us gold using Gold Pass from the Perth Mint. You can support us by buying our merch from the HeiseSays blog. And you can also support us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode.